Hey everybody, how's it going? Icy Cat here. This time we've got information on the newest January patch update for Rainbow Six Siege. The new patch notes dropped today, and for those of you that don't visit the forums or subreddit that might have read it there, I'll break it down for you here. The new patch update version 5.3 will go live on January 11th for all platforms. Since this is neither a title update nor a mid-season reinforcements update, this is more of a maintenance patch. But we do have a couple of new changes and some significant fixes that people have been asking for, so let's take a look. One new feature that we are getting is a pause button in the custom lobby during the operator select phase. And what this will do is it will give the host of that player-hosted match, so this is custom matches only, the ability to pause the match during the operator selection phase. The host would do this by hitting the end key on a keyboard or pressing a combination of start plus up on the D-pad using a controller to stop the timer. Press the button again, and that would resume the timer for the countdown. I'm always excited to see new features get added to the game, and while this is a minor one in the custom games, it is a welcome addition. But there has been one custom game feature I've been lobbying for since the game first came out a year ago. And that is the ability within custom games to implement a quit to lobby feature. Right now, your only option if you want to back out of a game is to quit to menu. You go all the way back to the main menu. The lobby is disbanded. You have to recreate the entire lobby from scratch again, reload your playlist, reinvite the players. Having a quit to lobby feature would be so useful. Maybe you have, uneven teams and somebody wants to swap from one team to the other. Maybe you even want to do that on purpose for testing reasons if you're testing something out. Maybe you want to try a different map or a different mode and you don't want to wait for it to end. Everybody kind of agrees like, we're not really digging this map. Let's try and check out a different one. Well, right now your only option is to just completely disband the entire lobby and start from scratch and reinvite everybody. And that's just silly. There's no reason to do that. This is such a basic feature. I don't know why a year into the game we still don't have a quit to custom lobby feature when playing a custom game. So while it is nice to see this new feature for custom games, I think there is also some other functionality that they need to bring to the table. Now let's talk about the things that have been fixed in this new patch update. One of the big ones that everybody's been waiting for is that barricade pieces remaining stuck in place if hit from a certain angle are now fixed. Now this is interesting because this is a fix to the fix that fixed this problem in the first place. So it was either the last update or the one before that. We had a line item in the patch notes that the broken pieces and barricades were no longer going to stick anymore. And it seemed like that was a problem that was happening a little bit. And then once the fix for that problem occurred, it seemed to be happening like constantly. And so this would be like if you broke a hole in a barricade and the pieces just sort of sat there within the barricade, like it was still damaged, the pieces were still broken, but they were just kind of sitting there and they didn't pop out like they should. That's what this problem is. And now we have a fix that will hopefully get rid of the problem, but we'll have to wait and see. There's also a few other fixes here. Sometimes, in rare instances, a drone would be able to use a dead attacker's shield to move the diffuser. There is also a glitch where deploying a reinforced wall, it was possible to pass through the reinforcement. That's been resolved. Muzzle brakes were gaining the ability to hide flashes for sidearms, and that's been changed so it works the way it's supposed to. Another fixed item is that sometimes when a shield user would go prone while using the drone, they would have the shield remaining equipped while in the prone position. In some cases, clipping would cause an operator's shield to disappear, and this would allow the operator to be shot through their shield. This was something that wasn't really apparent to the shield user. It looked to them like the shield was up at all times, but the enemy team looking at that shield would see it glitch out of existence more or less, and depending on, how it was done, maybe it would just be for a second, or if they were holding that position where it was clipping through something else, it might stay that way until they moved again, and that was something that would really be hitting shield users hard. Then they move on to some operator-specific fixes. IQ had a bit of a glitch when she would drop from a height while holding a breaching charge and her sidearm would become invisible. That's been fixed. Tachanka's new LMG shield had a problem with shotgun pellets where the shots, the impacts would not remain on the screen. Well, now that's been taken care of. Also, sometimes after destroying that LMG shield, it would reappear for a few frames, so that won't be happening anymore either. Anybody that did the recent SAT Weekly Challenge will notice that neither of the eligible operators, both Hibana and Echo, were able to count toward that challenge. The problem that was causing that has now been taken care of, so hopefully if that challenge comes around again, we won't see that occurring. Speaking of Echo, his drones would sometimes hit an invisible wall when jumping through doorways, and they would sometimes hit an invisible wall in certain rooms on Skyscraper. Those problems have been resolved. Fuse would have a problem with his new cluster charge where it would sometimes destroy gadgets, but not breakable floors. Well, now that behavior has been rectified. It works as expected. An error that caused Valkyrie's black eye cameras to remain floating in mid-air when thrown at a broken barricade has also been taken care of. Sometimes frost traps would trigger when they were placed on an elevated surface without even having to vault onto it. The placement glitch that caused this has been resolved, so that shouldn't be occurring anymore. There was a slight animation glitch sometimes with Blackbeard when equipping a second rifle shield, no longer a problem. Also a bit of an audio error from Twitch's shock drone where the sound of the taser going off wouldn't propagate as intended is good to go now. Jaeger had a bit of a problem in regards to Hibana's X-Kairos pellets where it wouldn't always detect them and take them out, so now it should be reacting properly to those. And there was a bit of a feedback error regarding Kapkan's laser trap, so when a player was killed by one of those explosive devices, the controller wouldn't vibrate in response to that explosion like it was supposed to. Some other problems pertaining to game mode specifically are in Bomb on Favela. Sometimes the player who had the diffuser wasn't able to drop it or pick it up, and also other players couldn't see who even had it. Also, the hostage could not be revived if the hostage goes into a down but not out and clips with the kitchen table. A fix for tactical realism, operators with launcher gadgets, so this would be like Hibana and Ashe, they didn't have feedback when they were reloading. And some fixes for spectator cameras. When a spectator joins a match in progress, they wouldn't be able to see Tachanka's new LMG shield. And when following a player outside, the player can sometimes become invisible to the spectator's perspective. Both of those have been taken care of. We also have some repairs to some level design features, and here's a big one for the new map, Bartlett University. There was a missing camera in the back hallway by the rear stairs just off the exit for the model room, and there was a camera up there that didn't do anything. When you would cycle through the available cameras, it didn't show up as one that was in rotation, even though there was a 3D model for one that physically existed in that position. Now that camera should be active and in normal rotation. There had also previously been a problem with Tachanka having some kind of bullet collision detection issues at the first floor lobby of that building. In Russian Cafe, some users would remain stuck in a vaulting animation after vaulting through the second floor backstairs window. And on Canal, sometimes operators would be able to vault through wooden panels and clip inside of a wall. Both of those have been fixed. And then for the last section under user experience, we have a few things that have been taken care of that relate to Tachanka. The shield on his turret was offset during kill cams, and he was also not visible in support mode after switching for that shield sometimes. Bit of a fix for Hibana's X-Kairos launcher is still visible for players for the dud range even after it has been turned off. Melee kills will no longer be displayed as headshots in the kill feed, and Bandit's shockwire kills will no longer be displayed as headshots in the kill feed. There was a problem where sometimes the kill camera would sometimes pass through walls, which won't be occurring anymore. And here's a really big one. In some instances, operators appeared to have chicken legs while in the kill cam. They say that's been fixed. Now, the reverse chicken legs or raptor legs, or whatever you want to call them, is something that's been in the game pretty much ever since launch. I seem to remember it kind of always being there. And while some of you may be sad to see it go because it was kind of funny to watch, the rest of us will be thankful that it's no longer a part of the game. When a player is kicked from a casual match, they were sometimes still able to rejoin it. Obviously, that wasn't the intention. If you're trying to get rid of a player and then they're able to just join right back in again through the rotation, that sort of defeats the purpose. Well, that shouldn't be occurring anymore. Also, previously, when a player was kicked from a ranked match, they were able to rejoin the same match if it was still running after their 15-minute ban was over. That's been taken care of too. So that's it for the final patch update of Season 4. Mostly centered around bug fixes, but some, like the broken barricade planks, the non-functional camera in Bartlett University, or the chicken leg kill cam glitch, are some things that are some actually pretty high demand changes requested by the community. Of course, the next patch update that we'll get in February will be a title update, so this will be the beginning of Season 5, or Year 2, Season 1. We'll have to see what naming convention they begin going with. But that's one of our big updates, so we'll expect to see a couple of new operators and a new map, as well as any other new additional features they bring to the table. Now, if you want to make sure that you stay up to date on all the latest information for that, as well as other news, tips, tricks, reviews, walkthroughs, and more for Rainbow Six Siege, then please like and subscribe. You can also follow me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.